Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to our webinar, How to Prevent Legal and Ethical Repercussions from AI Deployment. I am Zach, co-founder of await.ai. We have Riley here, the founder of await.ai. Really excited to teach you how to deploy AI that will not leave you legally liable. Going to be an exciting webinar today. We're going to go over a wonderful presentation with some actionable steps to protect your organization. And then you got to stay tuned until the end because we're going to be giving out an exclusive AI lawsuit prevention checklist that you can download for free that'll have everything you need to know about deploying AI safely, ethically, and unbiased. So really excited to get into it. We're going to let a few people trickle in here. And then once everybody is in, I think we will start the presentation. And we'll end with a nice Q&A session where we'll kind of pick each other's brains and we'll open the chat up for any questions. So I'm excited. We will wait right now. Probably at about 1:05, we will start. All right, I think I'm going to get right into it now. Looks like we got most folks in here. So let me share my screen. Okay. All right, everything looks good on my end here. Feel free to ping me if something doesn't. All right. Everything looks good. All right. So, hey everyone, I'm Zach from await.ai, where we built an AI chatbot that doesn't leave you legally liable. So today we're exploring the world of AI, its pros and cons, and the legal issues you need to know. So AI is everywhere, changing how we work, live, and everything in between, but it's not all smooth sailing. So some serious pitfalls, especially legal ones, can catch anyone off guard. And we're here to walk you through what's happening with AI today, the significant issues with its implementation, and how you can avoid legal headaches. Let's get this show on the road and dive into how to keep your organization safe from AI lawsuits. So thank you for being here. So as we kick things off, let's go over our roadmap for today's presentation. So first, we'll paint the big picture, how AI is transforming our daily lives and businesses for better and for worse. And next, we'll uncover the typical problems and risks associated with using AI, including unexpected security breaches in the moments AI decides to go off script. Moving on to legal landmines, it's crucial to know what legal risks exist. We'll discuss how these issues can affect your operation and why staying informed is your best defense. Then you'll get actionable advice on how to protect yourself from AI lawsuits. Finally, make sure to stick around until the end to get access to our free AI lawsuit prevention checklist, which is packed with tips on using AI safely and effectively to minimize legal risks. All right. AI adoption is soaring in 2024. So this exponential growth is fueled by AI's promise to transform operations, customer engagement, and the products we use every day. So as we navigate this AI revolution, we're also becoming aware of its inherent risks and limitations. So a key concern lies with the reliability of outputs from generative large language models. Now, while these models offer incredible capabilities, their accuracy can't always be guaranteed. So this uncertainty poses significant risks when AI-generated responses directly impact customer interactions or critical business decisions. Rapid AI adoption is forcing organizations to balance innovation with the critical need to maintain their brand image and ethical standards. So as we embrace AI, we must also navigate its limitations carefully, ensuring that our goals align with its capabilities. So as you integrate LLMs into your business, it's imperative to address their inherent limitations and the complexities they introduce. So LLMs have demonstrated advanced capabilities in generating text that closely mimics human responses. However, beneath this facade lies an important distinction. LLMs do not possess proper understanding or reasoning abilities. So while often compelling, their outputs come from vast data sets rather than genuine comprehension. So the efficacies of LLMs is deeply intertwined with the quality and scope of their training data. Inaccuracies or biases within this data can lead to outputs known as hallucinations, challenging the reliability of LLM-generated content. So the assumption that cloud LLMs operate solely on an organization's proprietary data is a misconception. So in reality, these models draw upon the broader expanse of the internet's content, influencing their responses and potentially veering into unwanted territories. So developing custom LLMs tailored presents a theoretical solution to some of these challenges. Yet the investment and expertise required make this option impractical for many businesses. Now, despite advancements such as reinforcement learning, LLMs continue to exhibit limitations they cannot be easily overcome. So acknowledging LLMs' limitations from their hallucinations to the challenges of custom development allows us to harness their strengths while finding creative ways to solve these problems. Organizations worldwide are feeling pressure to adopt AI to stay competitive. But headlines about AI lawsuits serve as a daily reminder of the potential repercussions. So because of this, deploying safe, reliable, and accurate AI is becoming increasingly important. Consider the implications in a healthcare website. If an AI chatbot mistakenly directs a patient to the wrong entrance to the emergency room, the consequences could be dire, not just for the patient, but also for the organization's reputation and legal standing. So this scenario highlights the critical importance of accuracy in AI-generated responses, a challenge compounded by cloud LLM's inherent limitations. These limitations mean that organizations cannot guarantee 100% accuracy in the answers their AI systems provide. So this uncertainty poses a significant risk, particularly for entities operating in highly regulated industries like healthcare, finance, and government. So through extensive interviews with professionals in these industries, we found that a mixture of comprehensive safeguards and simple approval workflows is the way to ensure chatbot answers never get you into trouble. So engaging with key stakeholders across industries has revealed a clear pathway for navigating the legal intricacies of AI deployment. So this strategy involves the implementation of industry-specific safeguards. Integrating safeguards aligned with regulatory standards significantly mitigates non-compliance risk. Now, it's important to combine safeguards with human approval workflows. These workflows allow your team to efficiently review and modify AI-generated content and ensure users get perfect responses. Also, rigorous testing frameworks enable easy identification of errors in AI responses ahead of public deployment. Effective caching mechanisms allow for the swift recall of verified responses, so users only see the reactions you want them to see. And finally, educating your team on the risk and legal ramifications of AI cultivates a culture of informed decision-making, which is essential for navigating the AI landscape responsibly. So the next 4 slides will explore the common ways AI systems can be compromised. Now, this exploration will span from malicious attacks orchestrated by external actors to vulnerabilities beyond your control. Now, these vulnerabilities pose a significant risk to your brand reputation and may lead to legal liabilities. So the first way LLMs can be broken is through prompt injection. Prompt injection exploits the merging of instructions in data within an AI's processing logic, allowing attackers to insert commands into data fields. This can force the AI to execute actions unintended by its developers, posing a significant security risk. So this form of attack is not limited to instruction-based models, but extends to any model using prompt-based learning. Attackers can manipulate the AI's task by inserting their own examples or derivatives within the input, making the model echo or execute specific actions. Now, the impact of such exploitation ranges from seemingly harmless pranks to potentially severe outcomes, such as bypassing hate speech detection or leaking sensitive information. Now, understanding and mitigating prompt injection attacks are vital for maintaining the security and integrity of your AI systems. Next, we'll focus on denial of service attacks tailored explicitly for AI systems. So denial of service attacks are a significant security concern for LLMs. These attacks involve excessively engaging LLM services and consuming vast amounts of resources. This overuse disrupts service for legitimate users and can lead to significant financial losses due to the inflated use of computational resources. Attackers often exploit these vulnerabilities by accessing third-party LLMs like OpenAI's GPT through a jailbroken interface, using the victim's application as an unauthorized bridge to these services. Consequences of these attacks include downtime that leaves users without service, degraded performance resulting in slower response times, and inefficiency and financial strain from unexpected operational costs. So the increasing integration of LLMs with databases, APIs, and code interpreters has heightened the risk of cybersecurity threats, including SQL injection and remote code execution. So these developments open up new vulnerabilities that must be swiftly identified and addressed. So the primary areas of concern involve safeguarding against the execution of malicious code, preventing unauthorized access or manipulation of databases through SQL injection, and defending against web-based attacks such as cross-site scripting and cross-site request forgery, which threaten user data and interaction security. So recognizing and mitigating these risks is crucial in ensuring the safe and secure use of LLM integrations. All right. Jailbreaking LLMs like OpenAI's ChatGPT or Google's Bard introduced a host of potential security threats by circumventing the model's intended operational parameters. Techniques such as role-playing scenarios or adding nonsensical character strings as inputs have been utilized to mislead these AI models into generating inappropriate content. Understanding jailbreaking is vital for securing your AI applications. So the essence of these attacks lies in their ability to bypass the LLM's built-in safeguards, showcasing a critical area of concern for developers and enterprises alike. Now, as LLMs become more integrated into our digital infrastructure, recognizing and defending against jailbreaking attempts is essential for maintaining the security and integrity of AI-driven services. So in the upcoming 3 slides, we'll explore the ramifications of deploying AI systems without adequate protection against the malicious attacks we've discussed. If not adequately mitigated, these threats can lead to severe consequences for organizations, including prompt leaks, sensitive data disclosure, privilege escalation, and toxic, biased, or harmful responses. Okay, so prompt leaking in AI systems involves unintentionally disclosing a model's internal prompts or logic. So this vulnerability surfaces when specifically designed inputs trick the AI into unveiling its core operational prompts. So the consequences of prompt leaks include privacy breaches, intellectual property infringement, and significant damage to your reputation. Now, addressing prompt leaks is essential for maintaining the integrity of AI deployments, safeguarding intellectual assets, and upholding organizational reputation. While AI offers unprecedented opportunities, it also introduces formidable challenges in safeguarding sensitive and proprietary data. So the risk of sensitive data disclosure through AI outputs is a tangible threat that organizations face daily. So as AI models process and generate data, they can reveal confidential information. Now, these unintended disclosures can lead to significant security breaches, compromising personal and business data. This vulnerability exposes organizations to legal and financial repercussions and erodes the trust of customers and stakeholders. So as AI continues to evolve, developing robust mechanisms to protect sensitive information becomes imperative, ensuring that the benefits of AI can be harnessed without compromising data privacy and security. So when implementing AI, businesses face the complex challenge of managing the risks associated with toxicity, bias, and harmful responses. So toxic outputs can damage a brand's reputation, lead to mistrust among users, and even result in litigation. Bias in AI can undermine fairness, propagate discrimination, and harm affected groups. So to navigate these challenges, companies must adopt a proactive stance and implement robust safeguards for AI governance, including regular audits, bias mitigation strategies, and transparency mechanisms. Privilege escalation encapsulates the critical risks when AI systems gain unauthorized access or perform actions beyond their defined scope. So this issue is particularly concerning for AI models during the training and inference phases, interacting with vast data sets and performing operations based on user inputs. Privilege escalation can lead to severe consequences, such as unauthorized data access, data breaches, and the execution of unintended or harmful actions. Now, implementing the principle of least privilege, ensuring AI models have only the necessary permission to fulfill their tasks, is crucial in mitigating these risks. Now, this involves stringent permission settings, regular audits, and a thorough understanding of the AI model's access during its learning and operational phases. So in a legal case you might have heard of, Air Canada was the center of a negligent misrepresentation lawsuit due to the actions of its AI chatbot. So negligent misrepresentation concerns providing false information carelessly or without an adequate basis for its truth. The incident with Air Canada's chatbot, which communicated the airline's policy on bereavement fares, underscores the complexities and risks inherent in utilizing AI for customer communications. So the chatbot's misleading information led a customer to make decisions based on inaccurate data, culminating in a successful legal claim against the airline. Now, this incident emphasizes the importance of rigorous validation and safeguard mechanisms for external AI. Now, ensuring the integrity of AI-generated content is not merely about enhancing customer experience, but also about safeguarding against potentially devastating legal liabilities stemming from misinformation. So having explored how AI can expose organizations to liability from data breaches to negligent misrepresentation, let's shift our focus towards actionable steps to mitigate these risks. So the following slides will delve into practical and effective strategies to safeguard your AI initiatives. Now, by implementing these measures, you can ensure AI applications operate within legal and ethical frameworks, minimizing potential legal challenges and fostering trust in AI-driven solutions. So the first way to maintain control over AI applications is through safeguards. Now, safeguards ensure that your AI applications adhere to predefined ethical and legal boundaries. Many cloud hosting providers, including Azure, have integrated these safeguards directly into their platforms, offering protections right from the outset, but that's never enough. Safeguards in AI function as comprehensive checks and controls that monitor and regulate the interaction between users and AI applications. They are designed to prevent the AI from generating or acting on outputs that might contradict organizational policies, ethical standards, or legal regulations. So essentially, they act as a filter, ensuring that every output from the AI aligns with set guidelines, whether it's maintaining privacy, preventing biased responses, or ensuring the security of the data process. Implementing safeguards involves defining clear rules and corrective actions that the AI must follow. So this might include setting boundaries around the types of data the AI can access, the kind of language it can use, and the decisions it's authorized to make. So by doing so, organizations can prevent a myriad of potential issues, such as unintentional data breaches, propagation of bias, or legal violations due to inappropriate AI behavior. Approval workflows give teams complete control over their AI applications. So we developed this system for our own AI application, Await Cortex. Approval workflows ensure that any output produced by an AI chatbot undergoes thorough scrutiny and validation by a human before being made public or utilized within your business. So the process starts by leveraging AI to auto-generate question and answer combinations from internal or external knowledge bases, simulating potential user interactions. To manage the volume of generated content, we use a backlog to organize the thousands of answers awaiting approval. Now, based on specific criteria, an answer is selected for review and then moved to a specific location to be reviewed. So this allows users to visualize the progress of pending approvals through different stages and enables them to work in sprints, aiming to complete a set amount of approvals within a specific time frame. So team members can edit, delete, or approve AI outputs to guarantee they are always 100% accurate and ethical. Now, approval workflows protect organizations from potential legal challenges by ensuring that all AI-generated content is accurate, relevant, and compliant before the deployment of the AI system. So cached answers offer an approach to improving the consistency of AI chatbot responses. Organizations can ensure accurate information across all user engagements by predefining specific responses to frequently asked questions. So this method guarantees the precision of answers to common questions, such as what is your contact information, and significantly reduces the likelihood of errors or inappropriate responses. Now, introducing cache answers into an AI communication strategy narrows the scope of variability, ensuring that every user question within predetermined categories receives the perfect answer. Now, these answers can also be enriched with source links, images, and files to improve the user experience further. Cache answers are essential for safe, reliable, and efficient AI communications and are a powerful tool to mitigate risks associated with dynamic AI responses. So opting for on-premise AI deployment presents a strategic advantage for organizations aiming to maintain control over AI outputs and data privacy. Now, this approach benefits entities with high security needs or those in heavily regulated sectors, as it ensures that sensitive information and AI interactions are confined within the company's internal network. On-premise AI enhances data security through encryption both in transit and at rest, and simplifies compliance with regulations like GDPR and HIPAA. Additionally, it allows for customizable security protocols and secure authentication integration, enabling organizations to tailor security measures to their specific requirements. While the initial investment in on-premise AI may be higher than cloud alternatives, it often results in lower long-term operational costs. On-premise AI deployment allows businesses to harness AI's potential while exerting complete control over their data, ensuring regulatory compliance and cost-effective scalability. Enabling a human team to oversee AI interactions is key to avoiding legal issues and customer dissatisfaction. Now, this approach mitigates risks associated with automated responses and capitalizes on the nuanced understanding and empathy that only humans can offer. So we've already explored mechanisms such as approval workflows and cache responses, which empower human intervention in curating and validating AI responses. And these methods highlight how a human in the loop approach can significantly refine the quality and reliability of AI interactions. So by leveraging your team's collective expertise and judgment, you can drive AI to respond to queries in a way that reflects your company's values and commitment to your customers. So for those interested in what we do at await.ai, we are focused on creating a conversational AI chatbot that doesn't leave you legally liable. So our product, Await Cortex, puts AI control back into the hands of humans with features like simple approval workflows, dynamic caching, ready-made safeguard templates, and automated testing. So we're protecting against all the problems with AI we covered throughout this presentation, such as hallucinations, malicious prompts, data security, and much more. If you'd like to try Await Cortex, you can try our alpha at alpha.await.ai or contact me for a one-on-one demonstration. If you're looking to implement AI without legal repercussions, we've created a comprehensive AI lawsuit prevention checklist designed to help you navigate the complexities. It covers everything from ensuring data privacy compliance to establishing robust approval workflows and safeguards. It's an invaluable resource for anyone looking to deploy AI chatbots confidently and responsibly. So you can contact me to download your copy or click the link I'll be putting in the chat now. So let me go ahead and do that. And I think Riley might help me with that. I think I have start putting that in the chat for everybody. Oops, that's a StreamYard. Okay, here we go. So everyone in the chat, I'm putting our AI lawsuit prevention checklist in there now. Looks like we got that. Yep. Brilliant. And I think I should be able to add this banner here. There we go. We got the banner on the bottom if you want to grab the link that way. So I'll give everybody some time here and put it in a couple more times. Okay. All right. I think that's enough for everybody here. So let me move on to the closer. Okay. And I think that, yep, that concludes the presentation. So let's get into the Q&A section of the presentation. I love this part. I'm going to stop my share here. Hopefully we can get Riley back in. Just waiting on him. Okay. Slowly out. Okay, well, it looks like it's just me at the moment. That's no problem. So let me go ahead and start opening up for questions. So if anyone has any questions in the chat here, I'd be happy to answer them. And it looks like the reason for Riley not being in here is he's having some connection issues at the moment. That is totally fine. I'm here. All right, so we got our first question here from Omar. Thank you very much, Omar. I appreciate that. What are people's most common concerns about deploying AI chatbots? That is a great question, Omar. So I would say recent chatbot-related lawsuits make them cautious to deploy AI without extended testing. Definitely. And handling questions from thousands of monthly website visitors, we've tried to build our platform, Await Cortex, to support hundreds of thousands of concurrent users. Okay, so that's a big one. Can this chatbot handle actually all these website visitors, everybody who's engaging with my content? Can it actually support that? Another one, there's big trouble that a lot of key stakeholders have in actually translating the value of AI to their key stakeholders. A lot of people want to implement it. They don't even know the key KPIs they're going for. They don't know what they want to get out of implementation. Big hype train for AI last year was everybody kind of had a slight initiative to implement it, but nobody really knew what they wanted from it. Okay. But we found the main benefits are the internal support team's efficiency, customer satisfaction improvements, and saving them time and money, and a lot more. The biggest one is time and money. There's some things, and I actually had a good conversation with a machine learning engineer from Hugging Face, Zack Paul. You can check out the video on our YouTube. I mean, he mentioned some things don't even need AI, and people are just kind of injecting AI into these platforms when you could probably do it even better without AI. So there's definitely some drawbacks to AI in terms of costs and scalability, and sometimes it's not even needed in your platform or your business. So that's definitely something to look into as well. But in terms of the website chatbots, we think it's definitely needed. Maybe a little biased there. Let's see what else we got here. What roles are typically involved in the purchasing process for AI chatbots, and how do their priorities differ? Well, thank you very much for that, Huzam. So we've found that IT directors typically want the newest technology at their disposal, or they're pressured by management to implement AI but they're definitely considering the risks. And in terms of industries, we work with a lot of highly regulated industries. We work with county governments, state governments. We work with people in the financial services industry, healthcare, because we have a lot of out-of-the-box self-service features to prevent against this chatbot saying the wrong thing. So it's very, very important to these highly regulated industries that they have the tools at their disposal to deploy this stuff. And obviously there's going to be legal counsel is involved. CFO wants to know, how am I actually making money off of this? There's sometimes even directors of AI who are actually involved in anything related to AI, fairly new position. Innovation managers, there's tons of personas who are interested in AI right now, but honestly, I think across the business, everybody's interested in AI. Another one here, communications managers, I think is a big one. Okay, so they understand the value of fast responses to questions from website visitors, but they need to maintain the brand reputation their company has worked so hard to build. So what's a communication manager's job, right? They want to translate this unique brand voice and the information of the brand and everything that goes along with that to their citizens if you're working with a government, to their clients if you're working with a private organization. So communication managers want to figure out, how can we take all this great information and knowledge we've worked so hard to build and translate it to our clients as fast as possible? And we found a really great way to do that is an AI chatbot on the website, but some organizations are slow to adopt that, especially in the government space. People are worried about what this thing might say. So communications managers, they've worked so hard to build up this brand voice, they don't want to wreck that. So they're definitely a key stakeholder. Communications managers, IT directors, legal counsel, heads of customer support. Obviously, they want to automate tier 1 tickets. There's lots of great personas involved with this process. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Got another one from Omar. What features did clients push for that weren't initially part of Await Cortex roadmap? That's a really good question. So at await.ai, we like to build our product, Await Cortex, primarily through the feedback from users. At some of the other companies I've worked at, we've had instances where we're kind of building what we think the client's going to want. We roll it out. Either they don't like it, they don't use it. Now we found at this company, and I've kind of been a big proponent of it, really just let the clients drive the features. Obviously, have your roadmap, what you think is best, but definitely have some more sway in terms of weight of what the clients are saying. And one of the main features that our clients was asking for was the human approval workflows. So at first, we thought everyone would want the AI to handle every request. But we found that organizations in regulated industries would sometimes like to spend lots of time testing, caching, and approving possible answers. So what we did is we left the option in there. We say, hey, you can let the AI generate every single answer to your users, whether it be externally or internally, or you can make it so, and this is actually a fairly new feature we dropped, everybody has to approve these answers. You get the whole team involved to approve every possible question and answer combo. You toggle it so the only answer ever served to users has been approved by a human. And I'll probably get into that later, but that actually tackles a big concern is, hey, AI might take my job, right? Well, if you have people that actually have institutional knowledge that need to approve these answers, you're not going to take the job. You're actually going to improve the way they work and bring them in on the process. And obviously, you can do a hybrid way where some answers are AI generated, and then only the ones you approved will be cached and then served to users. So there's a hybrid there in Await Cortex as well. But I would say definitely human approval workflows was a very, very big one. A little bit similar to that is versioning. Versioning was very, very huge. So this basically allows you to test a bunch of different configuration items for your chatbot against a test set of questions before you actually deploy this chatbot into production, right? So there's tons of different configuration items in Await Cortex. You can check out some of our other resources, for example, on our YouTube, to see a little bit more about what you can actually customize in the product. But how do you figure out what's best? How do you figure out where can you get the best answers based on certain configuration items? Well, that's why we created versioning. So all you got to do, upload a test set of questions, whether it be like a CSV with a column of all these questions. Gather all your stakeholders, everybody who might have a say in what this chatbot says, whether internally or maybe from your users, what you think they might be asking the chatbot. Make a nice CSV full of test questions. All you have to do in Await Cortex, upload it. Now you have a test set of questions. Create version 1. Choose a bunch of different configuration items in the product. Click generate. Now you're going to generate all the possible answers to those questions. You're going to say, hey, maybe I like this, maybe I don't. If you don't like it, generate version 2. Tweak some configuration items. Generate another version. Sooner or later, you can have 5 or 6 versions. You're saying, hey, I've narrowed it down to, I like these 3 answers the most. I was getting the best performance from these configuration items. Now you can standardize that. Every time you make a new chatbot, because you can make multiple in Await Cortex, depending on your plan, you'll know the best possible configuration items for that new agent, that new chatbot that you're actually training and creating. So versioning is definitely a huge one that was not a part of the initial roadmap. I know I'm on this question for a while, what features do clients push for? But I want to do one more. I'd say a big one was triggers as well. So we primarily deal in terms of highly regulated organizations who are particularly interested in serving information to folks. There's also some lead generation capabilities that we've added to the platform that kind of work in highly regulated organizations and private organizations as well. Triggers. So basically, based on a user's input, based on a keyword, it's going to serve them a nice CTA, a nice button with a link. If someone says in their input, how do I download? It'll look for the keyword download that you've set, and then it'll pop up with a button. Here's the download instructions. Here's where you can book a demo, etc. A very autonomous way to serve nice CTAs to users, but also really great for folks in regulated industries. If it sees the keyword taxes, here's our 2024 tax documents. Here's the way you get a marriage license. It looks for that keyword, etc. And you can also do this by URL. So you can look for a keyword in the URL of whatever page the chatbot's on, and it'll serve a trigger that way. So it's very, very great way to have people actually interact with the bot and get them to use the thing. So thank you very much. I know I spent a lot of time on that question, but that's fine. Let's see what else we got here. What misconceptions about AI chatbots have you had to overcome with people? Great question. A couple of them. The first one, and we actually touched on them in the presentation. Some of the common misconceptions are that AI is never wrong, and that just because it's trained on specific data, it will not hallucinate. This is probably the biggest one. This is not true unless the AI is custom developed. So cloud LLMs are typically trained on some base context. They can pull from that to respond to questions, no matter the context that the user provides. So we found that cached answers and safeguards can eliminate hallucinations almost completely. We found this with a lot of our early clients. They thought, hey, I could just crawl my website, crawl my publicly available data, and now this thing's never going to stray from that context. That's not true, because a lot of these LLMs out there, they have to be trained on some base data. So what we've done at Await Cortex, or with Await Cortex, is actually added confidence score. Basically, you set your confidence score to 100%. It's never going to stray from that base context you provided, or at least it's going to be very, very hard to. If it even senses that, you're going to get a CAM response. I cannot answer that. It's out of my context. Or you can lower it, and maybe sometimes it's going to reference some external content. Another one is cached answers, right? So you can build out a distinct knowledge repository of all the possible question and answer combos, get your team to approve them. And now it's really, really hard to get it to hallucinate and go away from specific data. And then safeguards is another great way. We've been able to do that well. Basically take a keyword, serve a CAN response to the user. The key thing with Await Cortex is if you can take the time to configure it and build out a nice knowledge repository of possible Q&A combos and use all the different features available to you, you can sit back and know that this is never, or really never going to say the wrong answers to users. And if it does, there'll be some features in there to say and warn the users that it might be saying something wrong. So put the time in and you can get a really great experience, or don't put the time in and you can get a great experience as well. Just it's however you would prefer for your particular use case. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, we got another one from Huzum. Thank you. What differences have you noticed between users in regulated versus non-regulated industries? Really great question there. Let me think about this one. Yeah. So typically users in regulated industries prefer to spend more time testing, approving, safeguarding, and caching answers. So they would rather an answer never be shown than be shown with even a slight answer. So a lot of our government organizations, they're the ones who push for the testing features, the caching features, the safeguarding features, because they like to get in there and say, this is what we want to serve to our citizens. It's very important we maintain this voice. And they're fine with spending a little bit of extra time to ensure that everything is perfect. Now, users in non-regulated industries, they want a more AI-driven approach, which is how we started the product. So we know how to do it and we have the features in there to support that. So essentially letting the AI do its thing with less testing and cache answers, but focusing more on disclaimers in the bot to let users know that they could get incorrect answers. So got two kind of options here. Let the AI do its thing, or spend a little bit more time bringing the human in the loop to the AI. And we have an adaptive disclaimers features that's really good for the non-regulated industries. It's going to take a keyword from the user. It's going to sense that and come out with a disclaimer. If the user says, give me some legal advice, it's going to say, hey, this person just put the keyword in legal advice. Now you're going to have an adaptive disclaimer. The bot's going to say, I am not a lawyer at all. Don't trust what I say, and it won't lead them in the wrong direction. What we found with talking to a lot of AI lawyers in the space, these disclaimers across the product are going to be way, way more helpful and protect you way more than any click wrap agreement, terms agreement, etc. If you look across ChatGPT, there's disclaimers all over the product. If you look across AI products that have actually caused controversy, like the New York City chatbot, it was basically saying wrong answers to users. Now you look, and there's disclaimers all across the product to protect them. They haven't stopped the use of the product. They've just added more disclaimers. So our adaptive disclaimers feature protects you in so many different avenues very, very flexibly. So that's a really great feature that a lot of our customers love. Let's see what else we got here. Let me see. What roles are typically involved? What roles are typically most common? What aspects of AI chatbot adoption most often require reassurance for potential users? Thank you very much for that. Let me think about this one. I think it's the biggest nightmare headline, and I think you knew this was coming. The biggest one is that AI is not here to replace your support team. It will make them more efficient and allow them to focus on higher priority tasks. Okay, so a lot of people are scared that AI is here to take their jobs. We think the real value comes from improving how quickly you can resolve tier 1 support requests and enhancing the quality of support for tier 2 and tier 3 requests. That's the biggest thing. We don't think at the moment AI can entirely replace the support team. It's just not smart enough right now. And we think a lot of people who are trying to sell that it can replace your support team entirely, it can be some snake oil involved. I mean, maybe depending on your business and how small the team is and how complex requests are, there is a possibility. Obviously, I won't write that off. But for a lot of large organizations and enterprises we work with, that's just not feasible to fire the whole support team and let the AI do the whole thing. There's too much brand reputation and things relying on the support that you provide users. That can be a whole differentiator for some software companies. So AI is not here to support to replace your support team. Not at the moment, at least. And I don't think that's something to be worried about, but that's something we have to translate to a lot of our clients and potential clients. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. What are some questions people typically have about managing AI chatbot security? Great question there. Thank you very much. Let me think. I would say definitely where the data is stored, right? So how accurate responses will be, how many concurrent users can be supported, and what sort of data the chatbot can be trained with. So these are questions everyone should ask when evaluating a new solution. Where is my data stored, especially in these cloud LLMs, is very, very important. A good way to control that is to create a model or deploy us on premise. What we try to tell clients is you can deploy Await Cortex entirely on premise in your own infrastructure if that is something you want to do. Very easy to do so as well. And you're going to know exactly what's going on with that data. Yeah, you got to pass some of this to some of these leading cloud LLMs if you are using these cloud AI solutions. That's something that you need to be aware of. And you also need to be thinking, how accurate our response is going to be. We touched on so many ways that this thing can get you in trouble if these responses are not entirely accurate, if it's customer facing, and even internally as well, if it's being used to make decisions. So you got to figure out how accurate will responses be. What effort is it going to take from my team to ensure responses are going to be accurate? And that's really good questions to ask and really good things to see on the demo. Another thing, how many concurrent users can be supported? We always like to gauge it by website visitors if we're going the website chatbot route. But we want people to actually know how many people are going to be interacting with this bot. Very, very, very important in terms of pricing. In building out your distinct knowledge repository and everything around it. Know how many people are going to be interacting it. It should probably be a fair amount of people if you want to get your true value. So, and how can you encourage people to use it? How can you bring training into the organization? How can, if you're building a product, how can you build out features to actually get people to use it? How can you give these audio visual sounds and stuff to get them to actually try it and click on it in the bottom right of your website? Bunch of different ways to try to get people to use the bot. And then finally, like I said, what sort of data is the chatbot trained with? Is it going to be trained just in your data? Will it have some base context? If it's a cloud LLM, it probably will. What is actually going to be driving these answers? Let's see what else we got here. These are questions everyone should ask. Yep. So we got everything here, I think, in terms of what I want to answer on that questions. Let's see what else we got. What questions should people ask themselves before deploying AI on their website? Very great question there. So folks usually need to understand the common questions people will be asking the chatbot. Okay, so the key KPIs they're looking for, how quickly they want responses to be, how they plan to gauge the accuracy of responses, and whether they want the chatbot trained on their website content or internal data as well. Those are some of the common questions from my end I think people would need to be asking. I mentioned previously, in this golden age, if you want to call it, of AI last 2 years, a lot of people didn't even know the key KPIs they were trying to improve. They didn't know how quickly they wanted responses to be. They didn't know how to gauge the accuracy of responses. And they didn't know if they wanted to just train on their data or a nice model trained with some external stuff. And there's use cases for both. So as you're going through the buying process for AI, have a nice set of questions that you've researched that are very important to you and ask these to every single vendor you are working with. And I'm sure they'll be happy to answer them because we are very happy to answer them as well. All right, let's see if we got any other ones here. Okay, not any other ones at the moment, but that is okay. We do not have much time left. I think I have some other internal points I wanted to touch on. So I guess one thing I wanted to touch on is how can you actually determine when your organization is ready to adopt an AI chatbot, whether it be externally or internally? Well, I would say organizations are ready to adopt a chatbot when you have tons of tier 1 support requests that you cannot resolve quickly. You have lots of website visitors, and you understand the value that you want to get out of an AI chatbot. If you look at all the studies out there, market research or large scale initiatives, I mean, we work a lot with governments. In the actual government, AI is really, really huge right now, and it's really big initiative. So you got to determine if your organization is even ready for it. Most organizations, I'd say, are ready for it in some sense. They not always are, but definitely determine that. Okay, so it looks like we have one more question here, and I think maybe we can end 5 minutes early. What patterns have emerged from user feedback that shaped Await Cortex's current features? Kind of similar to the previous one that we got about any features that weren't in there that customers were asking for. So I think for the first one, we found clients wanted to test potential responses from the bot, but needed a dedicated space to compare them as they made configuration changes. So that's one of the reasons we built the section versioning, like we spoke of previously. I'll touch on versioning again. I think that was a really big one. Everybody wanted to test potential answers before it got into production. That's why we came out with versioning. I won't touch that much more on that. Customization was a big one. We wanted to have the ability to customize every single facet of Await Cortex, and we've enabled people to do that. You can customize the user message, the avatar, how long it takes to pop up on your site. Every aspect of it, you can go to your unique design elements that you have set up and completely white label it, wipe us off the map in terms of customization, obviously depending on your plan, but you can wipe us off the map and this can be entirely yours and nobody's even knows that it was built by us. It can look entirely like your product, and that's the engagement path a lot of people want to go with. Any other ones here? No other ones here. Okay, so since we only have 5 minutes left, folks, I think I want to end this a little bit early. Thank you very much for joining me today on this webinar. This is actually our second one of preventing legal and ethical repercussions from AI deployment. A couple places I want you to try. I want you to contact me directly if you ever want to try out our product. Really, really tailored for regulated organizations. You can deploy a chatbot on your website very, very quickly. I'll show you a demo. I'll walk you through how everything works. Happy to have a conversation if you're thinking about deploying AI, about the risks and everything you need to be aware of. Thank you for everyone that joined me today. Also, you go to our website, try out our bot. It's right on our website. You can ask us some questions about await.ai. You can contact us. You go to our YouTube. We have tons of resources there with demos of the product. Follow us on LinkedIn. We're always posting blogs about new lawsuits in the AI space and things you need to worry about. We also have a newsletter. You can go to our website, just type in your email, we'll add you to our newsletter every single week. Great news about the AI lawsuit space. It's called the AI Legal Risk Report. So just great place to know if you're deploying AI where you can actually be liable. We have a lot of subscribers there who love the insights delivered to their inbox weekly. But yeah, thank you again for joining the webinar. We'll probably do another one of these or some slight variation of it in the coming weeks. And once again, thank you. It's a pleasure as always. My name is Zach from await.ai. Sorry that Riley might have had some connection issues here, but I think I held it down luckily, and I think everybody got some value, hopefully. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.